use the special function called the hash function, so which is used to map the given value and with a particular key for faster access of the element. The hashing is the process of mapping large amount of the data item to a smaller table with the help of the hashing function. And the mapping between the any item that slot where the item belong to the hash table is called the hash function. The hash function will take any item and the collection of the item that return to the so the mapping between any item and slot where the item belong to the hash table. The hash function will take any item in the collection of the return of integer slot name between 0 to m-1. The hash table is a collection of the items which are stored in such a way as to make it easy to find them later. So you have to need for the hash table data structure, and you have to understand the hash table data structure. So in the linear search and binary search, the location of the item is determined by the sequence that start with the comparison. So data item is to be searched is that compared with the item at certain location in the list. So if any item element matches with the item to be searched, the search is successful. The number of the comparison required to locate for example, if the item are stored in the sorted order, so if the item is stored on the sorted order, we have to be look at the search algorithm. And for example, if the item are stored in the sorted order in an array in the binary search tree can apply which locate on the item is 0 log n comparison. On the other hand, if an item is to be searched to a linked list to an unsorted array, linear search has to be applied which locate on the item is 0 1 n comparison. Now talking about the hashing for hashing for some applications searching for critical operations. So they need search algorithm which perform search in constant time. Although ideally it's almost impossible to achieve the performance of the 0 1, but still search algorithm can be derived which is independent of n and can give a performance very close to 0 1. Concept of the hashing is the process of the indexing and retrieving element in a data structure to provide a faster way to finding the so the hash what is the hashing is the process of the indexing. Hashing is the process of the indexing and retrieving element data in the data structure to provide the faster way to finding the element using the hash key. Now the hash key is the value which provide the index value where the actual data is likely to be stored in the data structure. So in this data structure we use a concept called hash table and to store the data. So in this hashing we use the hash table to store the data. All the data values are inserted into the hash table based on the hash key value. So the hash key value is used to the map the data with an index in the hash table, and the hash key is generated for every data using the hash function. So that means every entry in the hash table is based on the hash key value generated using the hash function. Hash table is just an array which map a key data that into the data structure with the help of the hash function, such as insertion, deletion, and search operation are the performed. Generally, every hash table make use of the function called the hash function to map the data into the hash table. Hash function is a function which take the piece of the data as input and produce the integer as output which map the data to a particular index. So if you want to understand the pictorial representation of simple hashing, I have a example for you. So you can see just here. So you can just have to see this one. So You can see here the pictorial representation of simple hash, this one. And of course this is the key. This is a hash function. This is the hash function, and this one is a hash value, and these are the keys, hash values and keys. And then this one is a hash values, and these are the keys. So you have this like a pictorial representation of simple hashing, and these are the simple hashing. So this is a hash function, this is the hash values, and then these are keys. These are the keys, and you can make it like this. So actual data to be have to stored. The terminology, the basic term used to hashing table is like a hash table, and a hash table is data structure that used to store key values pair. Hashing uses the data structure called the hash table using. So the hash table is a data structure that map the key value. So you have the array, and then hash table is a data structure that is used to store the key values pair. Hashing uses a data structure that is called hash table. Then hash function is a function that map the key of the home slot in the hash table, and hash function is a mapping function which map all the set of the source key in the address which actual record are the placed. And then you have bucket. So a hash file store the bucket format. Bucket is considered the unit storage. A bucket typically store one complete disk block, which in turn can store one and more records.